Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking live to Metal Episode 8 of No Limits Wrestling. There you see the Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit, preparing in the backstage for his match later tonight against the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. It is a champion versus champion main event here tonight as the Intercontinental Champion, Chris Benoit, takes on the game Triple H. Chris Benoit has had a number of challenges come after his title recently, one of them being Chris Jericho. Last week on the highlight reel, Chris Jericho made a formal challenge to Benoit. He said he wanted a title match, but Benoit made Jericho submit. How will that affect his mentality here tonight when he goes up against the game, who is also looking to destruction against Shawn Michaels inside Hell in a Cell for the world title? Triple H will face HBK inside Hell in a Cell soon. However, tonight he goes one-on-one with the Rabid Wolverine. It's live, it's No Limits Wrestling Metal. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Metal, live here tonight, one of the best metal main events we have ever had. Here tonight on episode 8, we continue on the road to destruction and the road to Hell in a Cell. More importantly, however, many other matches as well. Tonight, several superstars will be in action. Mr. Anderson will be out here later to talk about his match with Kurt Angle. But here's the main event that's going to blow you away. It is a champion versus champion match for the second time ever on Metal. Triple H, the World Heavyweight Champion, goes one-on-one with the Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit. How will the Rabid Wolverine and the game pair up when they go one-on-one, champion versus champion, tonight? Huge champion versus champion match scheduled for later on tonight on Metal. But before all that, about to make his way to the ring, you hear his music, the brash, cocky, young, arrogant guy from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Here he comes, Mr. Anderson, about to come to the ring and explain his actions this past week. Kurt Angle was in the ring saying how he respected Mr. Anderson, how a match with him would be a privilege. However, Mr. Anderson has recently been trying to make an impression, and he does that by taking out the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, and he did that this past week. And shortly after that match, shortly after that fight even, it was announced that at Destruction, Mr. Anderson will go one-on-one with Kurt Angle. So with that in mind, what has Anderson got to say about Angle?
For 6.5 years on the independent scene, busted my ass, ate peanut butter jelly sandwiches, frickin' ramen noodles, so that I could secure a job with a major wrestling company. And I did. I achieved that dream after 6.5 years. I achieved that dream. I got hired over there. And you know what? At first, I had a rocket ship up my ass. I beat 10 world champions in a very short period of time. I was destined to be the next world heavyweight champion. And then a little birdie got inside the boss's head, got inside the boss's ear and said, "Hey, I think Kenny might be a little too funny. I don't think he's ready for it." So everything that brought me to the dance, all this stuff that you see right here, I was told not to do. I was told how to walk, how to talk, how to freaking dress. Hey, I was told that I couldn't even chew gum on the way to the rink. Because that was too hokey. This is me. Fast forward to a phone call that I get from who said, you know what? I understand what you went through. I know what's in your mind. I know the potential that you have. You come here, we're gonna take the training wheels off, we're gonna let you be you. So allowed me to be the asshole that I am today. And I'm not saying I couldn't have done it without you guys, because I could. Welcome to Total Non-Stop Anderson.
Well, repeating what he said at the end of his confrontation with Angle after he attacked him, Mr. Anderson, he's not the prototypical wrestler, and that's what makes him different. That's what makes him a future world champion potentially, and that is why he is going after Kurt Angle to make a name for himself in this company. Didn't work out too well in previous runs in other companies. However, in No Limits Wrestling, Mr. Anderson hopes to make a name for himself, and he does that by taking on Kurt Angle at the Destruction pay-per-view. But still, going to a more serious note, this is what happened last week on NLW. It was a matchup between John Cena and CM Punk, when who else but Randy Orton would show up and kick CM Punk in the head. This was after the previous week when CM Punk came to the ring and called Randy Orton pathetic. However, who was pathetic on this occasion? It was Randy Orton. CM Punk, he had concussion symptoms. He was laid out on a stretcher, but Randy Orton dragged him into the ring and humiliated him further, despite the fact that CM Punk was seriously injured. And right now, we've got an update from the commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, as you just saw, Randy Orton this past week kicked CM Punk in the head. He has done so before to Batista, and it will not be tolerated any further. All I have to say on the issue right now is that CM Punk has concussion symptoms and is being kept out of action for at least a week. It could have been much more severe, but thankfully the impact wasn't as bad as first feared. However, tests do confirm that CM Punk should not compete this week or next week. In fact, he will not be cleared until the Destruction pay-per-view. Therefore, for the Destruction pay-per-view, I am making a matchup between Randy Orton and CM Punk. At Destruction, it will be Randy Orton versus CM Punk one-on-one, providing CM Punk is able to attend. Now, as for the matter of Randy Orton kicking me in the head, I have fined Randy Orton an undisclosed fee for that assault and the one against Batista. Although this fee will not be disclosed, I can assure you it is hefty and should do justice. However, I don't see that enough. Therefore, this week, Randy Orton has two choices. Choice number one. On next episode, episode 22, he can either get suspended or even fired, or he can go to the ring and apologise not only to CM Punk but to Batista, who is currently sitting at home, retired. Mr. Orton has the option of those two, and I'm sure he'll make the right choice. I will inform you at the beginning of episode 22 which choice Mr. Orton has chosen. Apart from that, he will go one-on-one with CM Punk at Destruction if he chooses to apologise. That is all I have to say on the matter for now. Well, you heard it there first. Randy Orton versus CM Punk, made for Destruction. Assuming CM Punk is able to attend after that vicious kick in the skull, it wouldn't surprise me if he was out for a little bit longer, but still, about to make his way to the ring, the Mexican aristocrat, and now the former Intercontinental Champion Alberto Del Rio. It was a few weeks back at WrestleMania where in the triple threat matchup against Benoit and Chris Jericho, Alberto Del Rio lost the Intercontinental Championship, which he had held from December 2012 up until May 2014. Can he build some much needed momentum here tonight against a man who also came up just a little bit short at WrestleMania in Cara? Cara at WrestleMania competed in Money in the Bank, put on a hell of a performance, but didn't do enough on that occasion to grab the briefcase. Cara has been on a roll, however, since then. Defeated Carlito on episode 20, and tonight makes his metal debut going one-on-one with the Mexican aristocrat Alberto Del Rio. Cara, such a high-flying sensation from Mexico. Two luchadors going one-on-one right now in this match up here on Metal. They lock up, and now Cara has never faced Alberto Del Rio, but what is he gonna do? He's gonna do all these quick maneuvers, flipping out. What an arm drag by Cara, and now grabs him, and oh my goodness, what a moonsault by Cara. Here's the cover already, and Alberto Del Rio just about kicks out. That is what Cara's got to do as he delivers the shooting star press, standing that time to Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio much more technical. Is he going to go for a backbreaker right now? But Cara grabs him, and a stunner by Cara. So much offense in his arsenal. He can hit you with anything at any time, and especially when he goes to the top rope, this is where he becomes most deadly. Cara, the mass sensation on the top, but Del Rio follows him up there. Now he has him held, and a top rope superplex. Here's a cover by Del Rio, and a kick out by Cara. Cara holding that leg, it appears. Maybe he landed awkwardly on it when he came down from the ring. Alberto Del Rio now measuring him up. Has not won since before WrestleMania, and he's going for a kick to Cara's skull, but now he's grabbed and now rolled up. Here's a cover by Cara, roll up, and oh my, is Alberto Del Rio now gonna go for the cross arm lock? It looks that way, but Cara, luckily for him, near the ropes and manages to get there without serious injury. Alberto Del Rio on episode 20 lost his rematch for the Intercontinental title against Benoit. However, tonight hopes to regroup. Don't look like it's going well for him at the moment, however, as he's angle slammed, it appeared, by Cara. He's looking to go to send the turnbuckle once again. Alberto Del Rio is down, he's out, and Cara on the top, and now, oh my, rolls through, but oh jeez, what a kick. What a kick right to the skull of Cara. This may be alright here, but he kicks out. And Cara, the leaping ability from the top rope, Del Rio managed to move out of the way and deliver a swift kick to the skull of Cara. He's wondering what he has to do to defeat him now. That was unbelievable. Well, we take a look back at the replay here. Cara on the top managed to roll through that time. However, it was that kick connected right off the skull of Cara that almost knocked him out. He's back on his feet now. And Alberto Del Rio, where the hell's he going? What's he thinking? He's on the top rope. And now, sent back down by Cara. Cara's competed all over the world, including Mexico. He is a sensation over there, and he's winning fans over here. But Del Rio would like to put a stop to it. He's hanging on for dear life, and oh my god! Double foot stomp to the sternum. And that is going to cause you some incredible internal pain. He is down and out now, and that means Alberto Del Rio can go on the attack. Alberto Del Rio now has the hand held, and he's going for the cross arm breaker. He's looking to break the arm of Cara. He's desperately trying to get out of this, but it's going to be difficult. Cara in a world of pain. And now he's a roll up by Cara, very crafty there. But he manages to kick out Del Rio. Almost made him tap out with that. Cara still holding his arm. Del Rio none the wiser. And oh my, what a hurricane runner on the arm bar. Cara catches out Del Rio, and he's down and out. I don't see him getting up from that one. He's down on the floor, and Cara on the top. And the swanton from the top rope. Here's the cover by Cara, and he picks up the victory. Cara continues to gain momentum. here with a win over Alberto Del Rio, his fellow countryman even. Del Rio is down and out. It has not gone well for him since losing the Intercontinental Championship. But the fact of the matter here is that Cara puts on another hell of a really exciting performance. Well, Del Rio, it looked as if he was going to win it for a minute with a double foot stomp to the chest. Then with a cross arm lock, it looked as if he put Cara away. And then it was this armbar, Hurricane Rana style, and then what did it all was the swanton from the top, and Cara winning this matchup. Alberto Del Rio, it's not gone well for him since losing the title. He needs to get on track fast, and especially after this loss, it's not going to do well for his momentum. But the Masked Marvel from Mexico does it on his metal debut. What an incredible matchup there, displaying all the high-flying prowess that he possesses. Exciting these fans here and doing it all over the world. Cara, a superstar with true potential and a wonder to behold. But nevertheless, coming up next is the main event. It is a champion versus champion matchup. World Heavyweight Champion Triple H takes on Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit. It's our main event and it's live up next.
Intensity, ruthlessness, brutality. Just when you think it can't get any more brutal, it will. The extremes of which these men will go to are unfathomable. They will fight to the death. They will fight for what they believe in. They will fight for their lives. And all that is left is destruction. No Limits Wrestling Destruction live.
It's going to be the most hardcore pay-per-view of the summer. It's Destruction. It comes your way live in August. And several matches have already been made for the event. Not all of the matches, but a few have been made. One of them being this one. You saw earlier tonight Mr. Anderson coming out and saying he's not the prototypical wrestler, but he will go one-on-one with Kurt Angle to make a name for himself. Will he do it at the expense of the Olympic gold medalist? We will find out. And another match that's been made for the NLW Tag Team titles after the WrestleMania encounter ended in controversy. Chavo and Hernandez get an opportunity at Kofi and Truth's Tag Team Opportunity Tag Team titles. And also John Cena trying to make a name for himself, trying to make an impact, goes one-on-one with Raven for the NLW Hardcore title. Raven has gotten into the mind of Cena and vice versa, but can Cena do it where it counts and defeat Raven for the Hardcore title? And this one that was made by the commissioner earlier tonight, CM Punk goes one-on-one with Randy Orton. How will CM Punk respond after being kicked in the skull? We'll find out at Destruction when he goes up against Orton. And this one, after they had an incredible encounter at WrestleMania, the rematch is a last man standing match. Sting versus The Undertaker. Who will prevail when they go one-on-one? Who will be the last man standing? And this one's going to be brutal as well. It will be bloody, it will be brutal for the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the world title inside Hell in a Cell. And there you see the man that will defend that championship inside Hell in a Cell against Shawn Michaels after being driven through a table at the hands of HBK this past week. What do you think his condition is heading into next episode, and even heading into our main event match here tonight, champion versus champion Triple H going one-on-one with Chris Benoit? That is still to come tonight, but to come on episode 22, next episode, it is the final episode before the Destruction pay-per-view. And there you see one of the matches that has been made before his last man standing matchup against Sting. The Undertaker will go one-on-one with a man who's been gunning for the IC title recently, Chris Jericho. Y2J takes on the Phenom next episode. And another huge announcement that has been made is this one. Triple H and Shawn Michaels will go one-on-one at Hell in a Cell at Destruction. However, next episode, they will step inside the deadly structure for the first time ever. Hell in a Cell comes to episode 22 when they step inside to confront. Gonna be awesome to see the Hell in a Cell structure live next episode. And still to come tonight, a match with much significance. The second champion versus champion matchup in metal history and in NLW history. First champion to make his way to the ring, the Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit, after winning that title at WrestleMania, successfully defended it last week against Alberto Del Rio. Then this past week on NLW programming was invited on the highlight reel by Chris Jericho. However, when Jericho stated he wanted a title matchup, that's when he attacked Benoit, and Benoit made him submit. But the fact is, Triple H has some issues as well. But in this time, in this instance, he was on the receiving end of some backlash. He came out at the conclusion of the matchup between Shawn Michaels and Kane, and went after the Shawn Michaels and tried to make a name for himself and attack him before their Hell in a Cell match at Destruction. However, what he got, he was not expecting. Not only did he get sweet chin music on the outside, Shawn Michaels climbed to the top of the screen, the top of the Titantron, and delivered a splash through the announce table to the game. It was really a sight to behold. But the fact of the matter is, World Heavyweight Champion versus Intercontinental Champion happens right now. My goodness. Benoit wasting no time whatsoever in our metal main event. Benoit catapulting Triple H into the real steel ring post. Champion versus champion here tonight. Chris Benoit, the Intercontinental Champion, going on one with the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. It's going to be an interesting matchup. These two never faced off in No Limits Wrestling beforehand. Technical mastery by Benoit, brawling tactics by Triple H, that's all I can imagine, as he sends him shoulder first into the steel ring post. Chris Benoit has so much power in his game, and ever since becoming Intercontinental Champion, has had challengers come after him. Not only Alberto Del Rio, but as mentioned before, also Chris Jericho, who was on the highlight reel this past week, where Chris Benoit made Chris Jericho tap out to the crossface. Will he do the same to Triple H tonight? Only time will tell. He almost caught him out with a pin there. That could have been over early for Benoit. Now he's got the game up against the ropes, run across, and there's a clothesline to the game. Vicious style by Benoit, the rabid Wolverine. He is for real, and he is going right after the game early on and misses that time. And now look at the strength of Triple H to hold him in the air for that long and deliver the power slam. But Benoit has a counter for every maneuver, and now he's going after that arm and targeting it. That's what he's going to do, target a body part and maybe try and weaken it on so that he can lock in a submission at the end of the matchup, or even a crossface. But looks as if Triple H has got the roll up here, but Benoit manages to kick out. This is our metal main event, champion versus champion matchup. The Intercontinental Champion Chris Benoit going up against the World Champion Triple H. Both men won their respective titles at WrestleMania, and oh my, Benoit going for the enziguri that time, but now the game targets the leg, driving it off of the canvas, and now Benoit is in trouble. Triple H will definitely be wanting to make an impact here tonight, considering that at Destruction he has to defend his World Championship against Shawn Michaels inside Hell in a Cell. The rematch from WrestleMania, this time it's contained inside Hell in a Cell, and as mentioned before, this coming episode, on episode 22, Triple H and Shawn Michaels will step inside Hell in a Cell to confront each other. And it's going to be interesting to see that demonic structure live in person on episode 22. But can he make it though without losing to Benoit? Might do at the moment. Look at this, Texas Cloverleaf, is it? He's definitely got those legs in a precarious position. Benoit in trouble in the submission hold, but he manages to reverse it. Triple H flips over, and now, oh my, almost gets him. Triple H going for the German, and now Benoit going for the German. Grabs him by the head and throws him. Oh my! The way and the strength that he flung him with ease across the ring, from one side to the other. holding him by the neck and throwing him across the ring, and now the game is in control, and Triple H with the highly raced type knee. Continuing to assault Benoit. There's a net breaker, and can the game capitalise on this now? First of all, he marks this audience, and oh my, elbow to the face of Benoit, now has him on the top rope, and this may not be good. But here's a sunset flip from Benoit, here's a cover, and now another cover by Triple H. Technical mastery at the moment, but is the game going to go for the pedigree? It looks that way, but Benoit reverses again, and the kick out. But he's back to his feet, and the German suplex by Benoit. Triple H in a world of hurt, didn't expect this from the Intercontinental Champion, certainly. And here's another bridge. Good grief. What technical mastery by Benoit. Truly a wrestler to behold in this company, one of the best ever. And there is a knee to start Benoit's momentum. Triple H going to capitalise on this, but he's tripped up. Another drop toe hold. Oh my. Crossface by Benoit is locked in, wrenched under the chin. But Triple H near the ropes manages to get there and break the hold. Just in time too. Incredible main event match here on Metal. On the road to destruction. Benoit going on against Triple H, and he's on the top, but misses the headbutt, and that's going to do some serious damage. Triple H knows he can capitalise on this. He's got to get to his feet first, and he does, and there's a spine buster. Now will the game go for the pedigree and put this one away? It'd be a wise move to do so. Benoit's in trouble, and now Triple H, he signals for it and goes for the pedigree now. Go for the pedigree, but Benoit reverses, and oh my, he's in the crossface now. Now he's got the crossface, and it's wrenched under the chin. This crowd's going ballistic. They're really behind Benoit. Is Benoit scoring a major upset? Triple H almost in the ropes. Oh, he's dragged away by Benoit. He's about to tap, and oh, what the hell? Chris Jericho in. Jericho in here. Jericho now. Oh my. Chris Jericho. Was a Jericho on Benoit. And just like last week when Benoit had Jericho in the crossface, Jericho getting revenge. And this time makes Benoit tap out. For God's sake, let go. Chris Jericho this past week on the highlight reel made it very clear that he wanted an IT title match. Do you think he earned one? He's attacked Benoit and left him a heap in the ring. First Jericho taps out to Benoit, and now here tonight with Benoit on the verge of beating Triple H, on the verge of beating the world champion. He gets ambushed by Chris Jericho, but looks as if Benoit had this one in control. Pedigree was reversed. Benoit had the crossface, and Triple H was so close to tapping out when Jericho came in, causing the disqualification, locking in the walls of Jericho, and then Benoit had no choice but to tap. Both men have made each other tap out to their finishing maneuvers, and the race and the pursuit of the Intercontinental Championship continues to heat up in the aftermath of WrestleMania. Chris Jericho couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania. However, tonight, getting revenge after making him tap out. Chris Benoit is the man with the gold, but it looks as if Chris Jericho is going after it. Chris Benoit is Intercontinental Champion, but Chris Jericho has made the current Intercontinental Champion tap out, and the submission frenzy continues.